Hello and welcome back to the Doctor Who collection update. In today's Doctor Who collection update, I'll be showing you all the various merchandise I've picked up from the end of August to September, and there's quite a bit of variety of stuff. There's obviously there's Blu-rays, there's Big Finish, and I mean there is a load of Big Finish, there's a ton of Big Finish, figures, all manner of stuff, so I won't be including any of the new B&M sets because I got those in October, so they're not part of this collection update. So without further ado, let's just dive straight into this collection update. So kick-starting this collection update, we'll kick off with the Blu-ray releases. So we have two Blu-rays, and that is of course the complete 6th series steelbook. Beautiful artwork by Sophie Cowdery, and I just absolutely love it. I think Sophie Cowdery does a brilliant job of her artwork, and this is a stunning steelbook. But I do think I prefer Series 5. But yeah, very good steelbook, and obviously Series 6, quite an interesting series, full of some interesting episodes. And of course the other steelbook being Fury from the Deep, the latest animation, which I will hopefully be reviewing sometime in the future, because I want to get my thoughts out on it, because I did enjoy it. You know, Fury from the Deep is, I feel like it's quite a quintessential Troughton story, and yeah, I'm very glad to see it in animated form. I'm glad to finally put it on the shelf, because it's one of those stories I just want to be recovered, because I just love it, because it's got such a great atmosphere. And you know, it's a traditional Troughton story. You know, it's based on the siege, and of course we do have rumours of more animations like the Abominable Snowmen, which I think would work very well in animation, especially with sort of the Snowdon location for sort of Tibet. I think that would translate very well in animation. And of course the highly regarded Evil of the Daleks, so will that live up to the hype? Probably, because Evil of the Daleks is a fantastic story. So those are the Blu-rays. So moving on to the figures. So September was very exciting as we saw the first character options online exclusive in quite a few years, and that is of course the Jungles of Mechanus Daleks. Totally not movie Daleks, so it's wonderful to finally have that sort of loophole where character options could release these two Daleks, and it is absolutely splendid to have these very quirky Dalek variants, because I'm a big fan of the Peter Cushing movie Dalek, so it's lovely to have those. Of course I have done a full review on those. The other figure I picked up was the US exclusive 13th Doctor figure, based from appearance in Resolution with the lighter blue top. Again, I've done a full review on it, and I believe this figure is slightly on offer. I believe it's now priced at £21. I think at the time of recording it is on slight sale. So if you want to pick up this, then you know, go and pick it up while it's on sale. But yeah, it's a very nice figure. And of course I have done a full review on this 13th Doctor figure. Next up we have quite a topical item in that sense. I picked up some Doctor Who masks, because you know, gotta stay safe and all that. So I picked up the sort of 3rd Doctor intro one, because I got to rep a bit of Pertwee. Yeah, very nice. And the other Doctor Who mask I picked up was a sort of 12th Doctor inspired one with the TARDIS and the clock face, which is all very cool to rep a bit of Doctor Who. So yeah, very cool. So the next item you might have seen already, and it is this, the Chris Achilleos Doctor Who Target artwork mug, because I love a Doctor Who mug, I love a good cup of tea, and what's more cool to have a Doctor Who mug with a cup of tea in? It's all very cool. So on one side you've got the Invasion of the Dinosaurs artwork, which is some of my favourite Target book artwork, you know, with the clack clack. It's very cool. And then the other side we've got the Cave Monsters, being my favourite Target novelisation. So yeah, it's a very cool mug. I love it because it's obviously inspired by the 3rd Doctor, and two brilliant stories, Invasion of the Dinosaurs and Doctor Who and the Silurian. So I absolutely love this mug. I got it off the Chris Achilleos website. So moving on to the main bulk of this collection update, that is of course Big Finish. Now I've picked up a fair bit of Big Finish, but I'll start off with a non-Doctor Who related item. Well, it's technically Doctor Who related in a way. Big Finish have had a sale on the H.G. Wells adaptations, so I thought I'd take advantage of that sale and pick up The Invisible Man, starring John Hurt, the late great John Hurt. So I picked up this one because it's been on my radar for a while and I wanted to pick it up, and I thought since it was on sale I'd pick it up, and I really did enjoy it. I mean, I was sort of familiar with The Invisible Man as a story. You know, I'm familiar with sort of the iconography of this man in sort of like a dressing gown and full of bandages, so it was great to finally experience that story, and it was wonderful. It's a great sort of winter's night listen. It's a fantastic story. John Hurt is superb. I think that's probably John Hurt's best performance on Big Finish. You can just tell that he's really enjoying it. The story's great, and I just highly recommend it. It was a fun little listen, that was. So starting off with a few spin-off releases. Now Big Finish, recently each week they would do an offer on a series or a range. and I've picked up a few of their offers. So I picked up the Bernie Summerfield range. I picked up Series 1, so I picked up Oh No It Isn't, which is basically the first ever Big Finish CD release, so I thought it would be quite topical to pick that up and to see how Big Finish started and how they got the Doctor Who license by doing Bernie Summerfield. So it's a bit of Big Finish history, so I feel like I needed to get Series 1 of Bernie Summerfield to experience how Big Finish started and obviously see how they've differed. So it's great to finally experience that, and it features Nicholas Courtney. It's basically a parody on a pantomime, so I'm very excited to listen to the Bernie Summerfield stuff. Then we have Beyond the Sun there, which is very cool. And then we have Walking to Babylon, the third story. And I believe that some of the first series of Bernie Summerfield is based off Virgin New Adventures, much like Birthright. I believe that was a Virgin New Adventure part of an arc what leads into Iceberg, I think, from memory. I'm not too familiar with the Virgin New Adventures, and of course we have Just War, which I do know is a Virgin New Adventure, and this is meant to be one of the best Bernie Summerfield audios, so I'm very excited to give that one a go because it's meant to be quite a dark and twisted story, so I'm looking forward to giving that one a go whenever I get around to it. And then we have the final story from Series 1, which is The Dragon's Wrath. And I did pick up Series 4 of Bernie Summerfield because there were two stories I wanted to listen to, and I thought it would be just cheaper to get the bundle since they're all on offer. So I picked up the Bellatron Incident. Next up we have a sequel to a Doctor Who main range story, The Dark Flame. Now I quite like The Dark Flame. It's not a fan favourite audio, but it was my first experience of Bernie Summerfield, so I thought it would be quite interesting to give that one a go since it's a sequel to that story, and since I did enjoy The Dark Flame. But the main reason I picked up this bundle was for the Poison Seas, which I would like to review actually, because it's Bernie Summerfield and the Sea Devils, so that looks very cool. And then the final story being Death and the Daleks, the final story in Series 4. Another Bernie Summerfield release I picked up was this, The New Adventures of Bernie Summerfield, Volume 6, Lost in Translation. I've listened to this box set and I thoroughly enjoyed it. This box set, especially the last story, feels like this series could end. It feels like it is a very sort of a good place to close this series, with the Unbound Doctor finally going to Gallifrey, but not the Gallifrey that he knows, and being put on trial. So it does feel like this could have been the end of a series, but it is a very good box set. I really did enjoy it. The third story by James Goss is just what I expect from the Unbound stuff. It's brilliant. I absolutely love it, and I love David Warner's Doctor. He's brilliant, and just the pairing of the Unbound Doctor and Bernie Summerfield is just superb. I love it. And the first story by Tim Foley, Have I Told You Lately, is a really clever story utilising the audio format to its advantage. I really did enjoy it, and it's kind of got like a mini sort of arc, this series, especially sort of at the ending of The Undying Truth, which is a good story for Bernie Summerfield. It kind of has like a mini arc to it, and it is just a fun series of stories, really. I really did enjoy this set. Another Big Finish sale offer I took advantage of was the Torchwood Aliens Among Us bundle, so Volume 1, Volume 2, and of course Volume 3. Now I recently over summer watched Torchwood, rewatched it, watched the whole series, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and obviously Big Finish have done a continuation. This is essentially Torchwood Series 5, and I looked at the bundle price back in sort of June, July time, and I was like, I'm not paying £90, and they had it on sale fairly recently, so I took advantage of that and got the whole bundle. I've listened to the first box set and I'm loving it. I think that it is a great set. It's a great way to reintroduce Torchwood, and obviously you've got the new Torchwood team. Mr. Colchester, personal highlight. I just love him. The dry wit, I just love him. He's a great character, and it's definitely developing into something. You've got sort of hints at sort of gods, which obviously Series 6 I believe is Gods Among Us, so it's starting to build up Series 6 as well as sort of continuing the sort of Series 5 arc for this series. So yeah, very good set, and I will hopefully be reviewing the full series in the near future. So moving on to the Doctor Who audios I picked up the Lovecraft Invasion. Obviously this one got delayed, and I have to say that it was a really good story. I did enjoy it. It's the last story in the 6th Doctor and Flip and Constance series, trilogy of stories, and I really did enjoy it. I think that it was a good story. You know, I love that the Sixth Doctor was very defined against H.P. Lovecraft. You know, Constance gets some great moments, and it has some lovely character moments between the Sixth Doctor and Flip, and this story really does utilise Flip's sort of pulp culture sort of references to their advantage, her knowledge of that, which is great. Then we have the other main range story, which was Finn Time and Madquake, with a Slovene featuring in the main range. I did review the Torchwood story Sync, so you can check out that review if you want. So Finn Time sort of continues off from where Time Apart is, even though Time Apart was originally going to be released after this one, but it makes more sense for Time Apart to be released first. But yeah, this is a good little solo story with the Fifth Doctor and a very surprising ending. I'm not going to spoil it because the ending is definitely a surprise. I did not expect to see that character return and feature in a main range story. And of course, Madquake is a good story, great continuation from Conversion. And I will be reviewing the Mark adventures very soon. I've sort of listened to and reviewed the first three, Tartarus, Interstitial and Feast of Fear, and Warzone and Conversion. They'll be out in the next couple of weeks, those stories. And then I'll just re-listen to Time Apart and Finn Time and Madquake, and then I'll review those, and I'll sort of do a whole week dedicated to the Fifth Doctor and Mark adventures. The next main range release is the Flying Dutchman and Displaced, this being a sort of an hour-long story, and then Displaced being an hour-long story, so it's a two-part story for each one. Yeah, this is an interesting release. Obviously, I will do a full review on it, but the Flying Dutchman, I wasn't a fan of. You know, the whole character twist was a bit sort of a bit predictable. You know, and yeah, the direction the story went in, I wasn't too much of a fan of personally. So yeah, I wasn't too fan. But Displaced is a very sort of quintessential Seventh Doctor story. I did enjoy that one. But yeah, Ace gets some good moments in the Flying Dutchman, especially in part 2. But yeah, Flying Dutchman and Displaced, it's an alright release. But yeah, I'll do a full review on that. Next up we had a box set release, which is the Sixth Doctor and Perry Volume 1. Yeah, very cool box set, part of Big Finish's 20th anniversary, even though that was last year, so I will be reviewing that one very soon as well. The next box set is, of course, the 8th Doctor, Time War 4. I have listened to this one, and I'm definitely going to review it because, oh, it's just a brilliant box set. Probably my favourite box set of the 8th Doctor Time War stuff. It's brilliant. The opening story, you know, Palindrome, fantastic. It's a great way of utilising the Time War format, really using time to its advantage. You know, this box set really does put the Time War, well, put the time in Time War. It is a superb box that I just absolutely love listening to this one. Dreadshade was a superb one, and then Restoration of the Daleks was a very good ending to the box set. And obviously this box set does end on a cliffhanger with a character returning, so I'm not going to spoil who that is. But it was nice to see Ken Bones appear, and Terry Malloy just gives a superb performance as Davros. This is probably Terry Malloy's best performance as Davros, maybe. It is utterly brilliant, you know, him playing a different sort of alternative Davros, much like how he appeared in Masters of War. But yeah, it's very interesting to see what happens to Davros within this box set. And the final release, Out of Time, a highly regarded release. I have reviewed this one, so if you want to know my thoughts on this story, then please do check out that review. But yeah, that's the presentation, because I said in the review I'll show you the presentation, the collection update. But yeah, I am so happy to have this release because it is amazing, a fun story. And if you want to get into Big Finish, then this is an ideal jumping on point. It is a superb release. And the last item for this collection update is the Fanfare for the Common Men Asda exclusive vinyl. And isn't it absolutely stunning? This was limited to 1,000, and my number is 735 out of 1,000. I will be doing a full review of this, and it will be my next video, and it is Big Finish's first double LP. So yeah, very excited, and I will be doing a full review of that very soon. So yeah, that is the Fanfare for the Common Men vinyl. So that concludes my September collection update for 2020. I hope you have enjoyed it, showing you all the various bits of Doctor Who merchandise I've picked up. As you can see, quite a load of Big Finish. I didn't realise it was that much until I put it all together. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time in my review of the Fanfare for the Common Men. So thank you very much, and goodbye.